major, position in government, you know that every action you take is going to be scrutinized, and that's fair. And so I do the same, and I try to do that as a service to the reader, to your viewers, to understand that they're getting, this unvarnished view of people who were in living this investigation. No one gets a pass.
Tell me one thing that you thought he did wrong.
Well, you go back and look at the Hillary Clinton investigation, right? And so we all know the press conference that he held. He's described it and others that, he was jumping on grenades for people who would run away from them. So the Justice Department, they were, they didn't want to have anything to do with ensuring that this investigation wasn't politicized, and so he obviously took a bold step to remove the FBI's, from the DOJ and make that announcement. But the way he characterized her behavior, I criticize. Criticizing the behavior of someone that you're then not going to recommend be charged. That's one example. Another quickly is his handling of his memos, right? We know about, and it's interesting because it was a public service that the American people know that the president tried to obstruct an investigation. That is good for us to know. The method of giving that to a friend who then gave it to a reporter, I think hurt him more than it helped, because there were other vehicles. Look at this whistleblower we're talking about right now, the proper channels for dealing with information that troubles you.
But could you point to this whistleblower story? This is a good way to button up this discussion. Can you point to what is breaking now across the last couple of days and say, had Director Comey done what this whistleblower did, perhaps we would never know what had transpired in that meeting with the President of the United States, because they would put the kibosh on it right away, and he felt that the only way to get that information out was to go to utilize another method that perhaps, was it ethical or not ethical?
No, it's a great question. I think that the difference here is that, obviously at that time that it was a little bit of a different dynamic. Here, we have a Justice Department, as I mentioned, who, there are questions about their level of independence that we've seen proof of. With the past administration, Comey was worried about the perception, right? There wasn't anything that he saw the DOJ was doing that was wrong. He just thought, okay, I'm going to, announce this publicly. But I think he did have the congressional option. He could have gone to the members of Congress in these committees and, said, here are my memos. I'm not going to release this, but over to you. And if the Democrats and Republicans both had that information, they wouldn't sit on it, right? Knowing both parties have it. Here in this whistleblower case, it's not even getting to